Hey guys, Dummy24 here, and I got a little live gameplay, or live commentary rather, gameplay for the VK4502. This is a tier 8 tank, and it's actually, it's eh. That's about as much as I can say I feel about it. It's meh, not the greatest, not the worst. Comes with a couple different guns. This is the same gun that I have on the Tiger and the Tiger P, the upgraded 88, long 88. You can get a 105 on it, but look at, you can use the 88 and have 203 pen, or you can use the 105 and get 200 pen. So where's the incentive? There is none, except for the difference in damage, but I end up bouncing more than I do piercing other tanks. So that's the gun I got on it. As far as crew goes, well, let me get through the whole thing first, I suppose, before I start talking about crew. I have the upgraded turret, I got the best engine, I got the best tracks, and I just use the stock radio, the whatever. Fug 7 on there. I don't really care about upgrading the radio at all. I don't have anything for it, even though I probably should. I probably could use a gun rammer and improve vents, but to be honest with you, I don't think this tank is really worth it unless you have the spare gold to take that stuff out, which I don't. But if you have the spare gold, then sure, go ahead and throw it on in there. Or if you especially like this tank, then that's fine too. But I really don't think it's worth it. I'm not, I don't know what, I'm neutral about it. It's okay. It's not very good, but yet it's not very bad either. It's got some pretty good acceleration, pretty good speed, but the gun is just your regular, Tiger P or Tiger upgraded long 88. So, it's like, what's the point to really spend too much time with it unless you really like the design or something, which to me, I'd rather have the King Tiger or the Tiger 2. What the heck you call them? My crew here, 90% for all repairs with the heavy tanks. With high tier heavy tanks, you really want to have repairs so you can repair those damaged tracks and everything as quickly as possible. Except for my commander, I have him working on Mentor, and he's at 89% for that. For the ammo, this is something I didn't talk about in the other games, but for ammo, you really want maybe 1 or 2 HE shells at most for most guns, especially in the higher tier guns. Whoops, cell phone's going off. You really only want just a couple rounds, because unless you really, for me, I don't change ammunition like ever, and I don't have premium ammo, so it really doesn't make any difference to me. But that's pretty much it. 1570 hit points. Signal range, view range 400 meters. Your turret armor. Okay, look at this. Hull armor 120 80 80. Turret armor 185 80 80. Okay. Now let's check this out. Hull armor on a Tiger P 200 80 80. So what? That's what I mean. Like, why would you make a tier 8 tank that doesn't have a better gun, and it doesn't have better armor? Well, I mean, it has better turret armor, sure, than a tier 7. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But let's get in some games here and see what's what, so you guys can see how it operates. And because I don't think there's a lot of gameplay on this. I watch a lot of I watch a lot of World of Tanks gameplay, but I don't really see the VK. You'll see some mouse gameplay, and a little bit of Tiger P gameplay, but that's about it. You don't really see too much of this VK stuff. This one or the tier 9. This is the tier 8. But anyway, so the first things first, always look up to see what you are. Okay, this is a tier 8 game by a pretty good amount.
Let's go.
Let's see, Ruinberg. We're a heavy tank on Ruinberg, top tier. We're going to want to go city. Try to get away from the artillery and everything. and we're a brawler tank, so that's just the place to go. So you can see that this thing gets up to speed and moves a lot better than a Tiger P does. I mean, I'm already hitting about 40 kilometers per hour. Tiger P's maybe what, 30? If you get up to 30 going downhill with a strong wind behind your back, you know, you get maybe 30. This has got a lot of good speed for it, and that's why I'm kind of curious to see what the tier 9 in this will do. But it's also got a pretty decent, as far as heavy goes, it has a pretty decent traverse here, or turn or traverse, whatever you want to call it. So I mean, it's got a lot better maneuverability in that respect than the Tiger P. But why would the gun not be any better? And why is the armor really not any better either? I don't get it. The only other thing is it is sloped, so that does make a little bit of a difference. But I mean, you know, irregardless. So let's see. We're up here. Whoop. Where do we want to shoot you? Let's track this guy.
Penetration.
We're up here in the cap. Start putting a little pressure on them for them to. Oh, that figures. Press the wrong button. Well, that was a real quick one. That was extremely quick. And you know what? That's the other thing about this tank. This, I swear to God, this engine loves to just start on fire and blow up. I don't know how many times, the very first game I had this, the very first game, I was cruising along, you know, driving along in the tank, and all of a sudden I get hit with a shell and the thing just poof. That's it. Sure, I probably got ammo racked or whatever, but it was like the first 2 or 3 games I played with this tank. That's all that happened. Is my engine would go on fire and the thing would blow up on me. But that's just a little case of extremely bad luck. I'm going to stop the recording here, wait for this game to get over. It's probably not going to take too long. We're already down 2-5. We're getting steam housed 3-5. Pretty bad here, so probably won't take too long before the game is over. But I'm going to turn off the recording and I'll see you guys in the next game. Hey guys, we're back. Well, I played like 2 more games in between when I played a couple with my Panther 2. Or Panther as well, not the Panther 2. But I swear to you, both times I played it, within like the first 2 or 3 minutes, gas tank is ruptured, engine is on fire, and I'm down to like 2% health within like the first 3 or 4 minutes of the game before anything's even started going on. And it's just figured there's no sense in even me posting this or using this stuff, because the whole point is to let the guys or girls, if you're watching, watch what's going on and watch the gameplay. And if I'm dead within the first minute or 2, you know, what sense does that make? So I scrapped them, starting. I'm gonna do 2 more gameplays. Hopefully these ones go a little bit better. But we're on Wide Park, and on this one I really like the push on this right side with the heavies. You should probably have, you know, just a few tanks in the middle here, just to try to hold the line. Maybe cause, if you can make a break. Say you, let me explain it this way. If you have just tanks in the background or the back up here, just trying to hold the line, right? And say you destroy a couple, maybe over here or in the middle or something, then you should have medium tanks rush, or fast, especially fast heavies as well, rush through that gap and try to start getting flanks on each side. That would be a good strategy, I think, for this one too. But otherwise, heavy tanks probably want to go either into like the city area over here to try to get away from Artie and to do a little bit more brawling. I'm gonna have to back up here and let these tier 9s and 10s take on that fight. but heavies on the other side, and just mediums kind of playing a rover in the middle there to make sure nobody makes a push through it. But yeah, tier 10 game, tier 10 game with some couple 9s in there, so it's not. It's a game where I'm gonna have to sit back a little bit more since I'm not top tier and I don't have a very good gun. I have a tier 8 gun. I don't even have a tier 9 gun because like I said, the 105 on this. I want to get away from this guy, so let him give the guy room. Let him move around. That's another tip and trick there for you guys. If you got a tank that's a higher tier tank that can do more damage than you, just get out of the way and let him fight. And that's what I'm doing right now. Even though he may be a medium, he can do a better job than I can against these guys. So we can see here they have a pretty decent amount of heavy tanks here. So I'd say like, let me get out of the way here for sure, way out of the way. Because they have a pretty decent right flank, they've got to be weak somewhere else. Probably in this middle, like this guy. See how that light tank just got right through this middle? This is a perfect setup for that strategy I was just talking about. You should have a couple more mediums and a fast heavy come right through here, get into their base, start getting their already destroyed whatever else, and pick a side and just start flanking. And as soon as they came to this right side, and we're flanking this right side, that's when we would have to all push at the same time. Really just bottle them up, start hitting them from 2 or 3 sides so they can't concentrate and fire, and take them out. And then we just sweep over to the other flank and help out the guys that are holding over there. Let's see, maybe I can, you know what, maybe I can get in there. Let's try it. You know, what the heck, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I just get my tank destroyed, big deal. Let's see this. Yeah, see, those guys will be able to take a shot on me if I go a little too far over there. So let's come up over here, especially with that WZ there. He's nice at 14%. Let's see, where's that IS-7 looking? Now he's looking at me.
We've lost a track.
Damn it. Come on.
Track's up. Let's go.
Yeah. Maybe we can see, they fixed that hole there. They put a couple more extra tanks there, and now they plug that gap. They plug the hole. That's why if there's a slight weakness in there, you've got to seize the opportunity and push it hard. I think that strategy would probably be better for a clan to pull off, since they have a better communication between their members. Yep. Yep. See, that's what I mean, man. This thing is just no good. It may have sloped armor up in the front, but anything can just pop and it's done. At least, if nothing else, I may not be able to injure tanks or, or anything like that, but if nothing else, I'm taking their concentration away from the people they should be worried about, the tier 9s and 10s. They should be focusing on them and not worrying about me. But they're looking at me and not.
Enemy armor is hit. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
Yeah, it's gonna be already. Yep. I didn't think he was gonna reload that fast. Evidently, I was wrong. Let's see how this plays out. It could go either way. 5-7. We do have their flank. It's looking a little worse than I thought. Come on. Why? I don't know. Yeah, that's not bad. What do we got here? Yog Tiger. Keep an eye on IS-8 down there. That's not a bad idea. Conqueror's trying to play the line. Try to play the railroad grade here. You'd probably be better off on the other side of the railroad grade, but he doesn't have any help over there, so gotta do what you gotta do. See, E100 sitting in the back. This is something that should not be happening. This E100 should be up here, up into the city, getting his face in there. Top tier heavy should not be sitting in the back. This would be a position like for my tank, a tier 8. Sure, it's a heavy tank and everything, but I cannot compete with tier 9s and tier 10s. That would be a good spot for me to sit in the back like this. This guy's playing like a tank destroyer. That low was done for, yeah. Well, it could have gone either way, but they turned the tide. Yep. You might as well just back up, take a look to your left, because you're going to get flanked just like this. Let's see how he handles this. Get that first guy. There you go, and a track, that's good. Don't worry about him. Don't worry about him. He's a tier 7. Now you gotta focus on somebody. Yeah, you're looking too many ways. No, he just wants to get a kill. No. Don't be distracted like that. Don't sit in the back. If you're top tier heavy, do not sit in the back. Get up there. You're not supposed to. You're not supposed to sit in the back as a top tier heavy. And second, if you get swamped like that, just pick one target and stick with them. Even if you would have just stick with the tier 7 just to say, hey, I'm taking one of you guys with me, that's fine. Do it and stick with them. But you just see his turret goes to the left and it goes to the right to get this guy, and it goes to the left on this guy and it goes to the right again, and just zero in and just say, hey, if I'm going down, man, I'm taking you with me. So what we got here? We got Ensk. Obviously on this one, heavies off on the left here into the city. Mediums, a couple tank destroyers probably into these into the forest here. A couple mediums over here in the middle, just to keep them honest, so that they can't make a straight rush for Artie, and just to kind of hold the line for the fight in the city. I think this was a tier 10 game. I'm not sure. The tier 10 game, pretty handily too. Tier 10. Well, not tier 10, but tier 9s especially. Wow, look at it. Other teams got a ton of tier 9s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tier 9s we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other thing is, if you lull them to on pub games anyway, I can't really comment about clan wars because I haven't played it. But on the pub games, if people will have a short attention span, if there isn't something going on, yep. If there isn't something going on, they're leaving. So if you can just sit here and just hold them off a little bit, they're going to say, screw it, I'm going over here where all the action is. And when that happens, that's when you can make a push. So you can lull them to sleep too. That's another good strategy in a pub game. But that's, like I said, that's not, I don't think that would work on a clan, because clans tend to be more disciplined than that. or at least it should be. They should have a set strategy at the beginning and stick to it. But on a pub game, people would be like, you know, I just want to get in the action. I want to do a little shooting. We destroy a tank or two, and that's it. So now I'm going to come up here just to be able to try to keep them honest so they can't push up too far. And even if I take a shot, maybe I can't.
We've just dinged him.
You know, I can't pen them or anything. It's fine. But at least now they know I'm here, and they're not going to try to rush this. They're not going to try to rush this side. Sometimes that's all you can do, and that's good enough.
We didn't even scratch him.
Yeah. See, it'd be nice if a couple of these guys went all the way around the back here and flanked them, especially since there's 2 TDs there. That'd be pretty nasty. The other thing I want to get into real quick is that on these games, you can't have a strategy, a one-set strategy, and stick to it throughout the entire match. That's just not how. Yeah, that's what I figured. That's just not how these things work. That's okay, because I wanted to talk for a second. That's just not how these games work. You have to realize that the enemy changes, and the strategy that you're going to have to use changes throughout the game. So, for example, say you push hard left, and all of a sudden they counter it really hard, and they start pulling everybody over to the left to try to stop your rushing on the left. Well, when that happens, have a couple tanks and start pushing to the right. You have to adapt. It's called a WoT loop by a strategist, the Colonel John Boyd. He was a American aviator. I think he was a fighter pilot, but I'm not sure. I know he was in the Air Force, and he revolutionized the dogfighting tactics. He revolutionized warfare itself when he came up with what he called the WoTA loop, which means you observe, you orient yourself, you decide what to do, and then you act. And what that means is you observe what your enemy's doing, you orient yourself to it. I believe those are the 4 steps. You decide how you're going to counter it or whatever, and then you act on it. And you keep doing these cycles over and over and over and over and over again. And eventually what happens is you get inside their WoTA loop, which is you're thinking ahead of them. So you're already, you know, you're moving at 2 times speed, they're moving at 1 time speed or whatever, and you can anticipate their moves. That's what you have to do in this. You have to anticipate what the enemy is going to do and react to it. It's kind of a, I understand that's more of a military strategy kind of thing, and it's a little bit borderline philosophical, but it has a lot of importance and can help you not only in this game but in life in general. I highly suggest you check it out on Wikipedia. Read his book. There's a book by Robert Coram about him. Boyd, the fighter pilot who changed warfare or something like that. I think that's what it's called. I know it's Boyd something or other by Robert Coram, C-O-R-A-M. Highly suggest you check it out. And another thing I want to talk about real quick too before this game is over. I had a long time, well, as long as I've been around anyway for the YouTube stuff, which is like 2 months, but anyway, a long time supporter say on my previous live commentary for the Tiger P, you know, I kind of got housed in that game. I kind of got tossed around and destroyed pretty handily. And he goes, you know, a lot of props to you for posting this, because a lot of YouTubers wouldn't do it because they don't have, it's not very good stuff. But it brings up a larger point to me, and that's, you know what, a lot of the game comes down to luck, and a lot of the stuff you do in life comes down to luck. You can practice and you can strategize and you can do everything you want to, but sometimes it just you just have to get a little bit lucky in order to win your football game or World of Tanks. You know, sometimes it comes down to a 1v1 tank. Both of them are down on low on health, and all of a sudden one takes a shot and you pen no damage and the other guy shoots and wins. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you just have bad games. But the thing is, I'm not afraid to post them. I mean, look, 7,000 credits, 144 XP. Now, how much of that is me, or how much is that as a tank? I took a few shots in there, bounced them. You know, such is life. Everybody has bad games. I'm not going to be afraid to post it, even if you do nothing else but learn. But hey, maybe I shouldn't take the game so seriously and learn to chill out a little bit or something like that. That's fine. I don't really care. But want to get off my soapbox. But I hope you enjoyed this, the VK4502. You know, if you're working towards the mouse, then obviously if you're Tiger P and you're working towards the mouse, let's see, I want tech tree, then obviously you're gonna have to go through it. But I don't see myself keeping this tank. I'm probably gonna keep the Tiger P and the Tiger just because I like them. Probably gonna keep the Panther as well. The Stug, I like that one too. But other than that, I really haven't kept other tanks. Probably gonna get rid of the only reason why I kept a couple of these tier 5s is because they're excellent for making credits. But I'm not going to keep the Leopard once I get the VK2801. Probably not going to keep the Panzer 3-4 whenever I can toss that for something else. I probably won't even, to be honest with you, probably won't even keep the Tiger either, because I don't really think it's all that great. But the VK here, it's you know, you got to use it, but I think it's a tank that you use, you kind of take it for what it is, and you dump it when you're done with it, because it's, in my opinion, it's not very good. But let me know what you think in the comments, especially if you played with this tank. If I'm doing something wrong, please let me know. I would be more than happy to change my gameplay so I actually start playing better with this thing. But yeah, I hope you learned something. Hope you don't mind my little philosophizing there and soapbox preaching. And please like, comment, subscribe, and I shall reply to your comments if you comment, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.